Hi, I'm Martha, and I am going to show you today an easier way that I've devised to decorate sugar cookies. It's called the 4Ds: dipping, dripping, decorating, and drying. And you'll see each step one by one as I cut out my cookies, bake them first, and then do all the 4Ds. So the sugar cookie dough is my foolproof, beautiful sugar cookie dough. One of the secrets is not only the addition of vanilla into the sugar cookie dough, but also brandy or cognac. It prolongs the life of the cookie and it makes them taste really good. So roll it out to about, less than 1/8 of an inch thick. And I like to bake these cookies because of their size on cookie sheets that are either steel or aluminum like this one with very few sides. They have to have a way for you to lift the cookies. So it's rolled, it's cold. I'm using very beautiful, do you remember the Martha cookie cutters? Cut that out, just like that. A smaller egg. Work quickly because if the dough gets too warm, it's too soft to lift, it might crack, it might break. If you find that your dough is getting too warm, slide it onto the sheet, put it back in the fridge and let it chill a little bit more. Very easy. So here's a cute little running rabbit. Okay, so now take away the negative, lift up the positive. So now that should go right back into the fridge, chill it before you bake it. Okay, so now the decorating. What we want is a cookie that looks sort of like this. See how smooth it is? And the bright yellow yolk? It's all about the consistency of the frosting. This is the dipping stage. The frosting is made out of sifted confectioner's sugar mixed with egg white. Mixed slowly, not vigorously. You don't want air bubbles in the frosting. It's also flavored with a little bit of vanilla and thinned with a little bit of fresh lemon juice. And you mix that until you get a consistency of wet yogurt. I think that probably is the best description. Take the cookie and then you're gonna dip the top side. See, you wouldn't wanna dip this side because it's uneven when it bakes. You want that beautiful smooth side and you just dip like this, squiggle it around a little tiny bit. This is the first D, dipping. And you can see now it's the dripping. This is a lot easier than the old-fashioned method of damming, which is taking a strip of frosting around the edge and then filling. So I am really trying to minimize the labor and maximize the good looks. So it's not dripping too much more. Turn it over, and then you can use this, see this nice little toothpick just to smooth it out. And then with your finger, you can go around the edge, take away any drips. So you've already now dipped and you've dripped. And now, while the frosting is still wet, you can decorate. This is easy one. I have my bright yellow, yolk yellow, I call that, frosting, a little bit thicker consistency, not much, and place it where a yolk would be, right into the wet frosting. Now, how big a yolk depends on your chicken, of course. Now that'll settle into the white, and that looks like the perfect sunny side up. Let them dry overnight, uncovered, and in the morning they will be rock hard and ready to wrap, hide, or to put in the Easter basket. I'd like to show you two different ways to decorate. One in the wet frosting, as I did with the egg yolk, and another on dry frosted cookies. I will do a wet cookie now. This is an Easter egg, and let's dip it in blue. You can shake off like this. You can continue to drip. You can turn it from side to side, and you can just slant it like this. I need to get that center. I might use the bamboo just to speed up the process. Give it a little help. And then let it settle on the rack. And this is, oh, I love this brown. This is a beautiful color. Now I'd like to do what I call the Napoleon. It's just a stripe across, evenly spaced, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Now remember, we're working in wet base coat, that's the blue, and wet top coat. And then you take a clean toothpick and you draw the Napoleon lines. And I call it Napoleon because that's exactly what they do on the tops of Napoleon pastries. And then you can turn the cookie and go in the opposite direction. And that took all of less than a minute. I think this one deserves a yolk, and it's so pretty. And then the kid will say, that's not a good egg. There's no brown eggs. The whites are white. Let them talk. Now, the ombre effect is also a very nice effect, and that's done in wet frosting. You can start by first dragging it in. I think I'll do a pink ombre. That's a beautiful rabbit. I love the shape of this rabbit. He's running away from the farmer, who's mad at him because he ate all the lettuce. A few dabs of yellow, a little bit of brown, and a little bit of blue. Now that looks sort of like a mess, but if you just squiggle it around a little bit, it will dry into a very nice, kind of marbleized pattern on the rabbit. Now on the beautiful dried cookies, we want to have a little bit of detail. So it's nice to put an eye, a little brown beak, and maybe a little brown toenail. Polka dots, also another very cute way to decorate these easily. Oh, this little guy needs a little line down his ear. I think you get the gist. For very easy cookie decorating, the 4D method called dip, drip, decorate, and dry, and have a lot of fun. And thank you all for joining me on Frosted.